Welcome back to another episode of NFT Catcher Podcast. We'd like to remind everybody that nothing on the show is meant as financial advice, and to please do your own research. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Now the subject is NFTs.
They're known as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs.
NFTs are exploding in popularity.
This is a technology that will forever change the way people interact.
So it is happening whether you understand it and like it or not.
This phenomenon is moving. The digital.
You have now joined Jenny from the blockchain and Michael Keene on the NFT Catcher Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NFT Catcher Podcast with me, Jenny from the blockchain, and my co-host, Michael Keene. Today, we are doing a New York recap episode, and we are so excited to talk about our experience. I know it's been a while since we've done a recording, a recap episode too. So what's up, Michael? How have you been? Are you sick?
I somehow I didn't get sick. I know everybody's been getting sick. Yeah, for sure. I can't believe it. No, thankfully, I don't think Andy did either. And we both escaped it. Luckily.
Nice.
It seems like all these conferences, I mean, a nice chunk of people come home sick. And I think that's pretty normal from traveling around and people come from all over the place. But yeah, no, it's pretty nasty. Hopefully everybody does okay with it that did get sick and everybody's all right.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully you're not sick at home. And if you are, hopefully we can provide some good entertainment for you while you are laying in your bed miserable. A lot of my friends got sick. I have like a slight tingly throat and I'm like a little tired. I don't know if I'm really sick, but I'm like not feeling 100%. But yeah, I'll be good.
For sure.
But yeah, we wanted to talk about our New York experience. And I guess we'll talk about, I guess we'll start it off on the 18th, because I know you flew in on Father's Day, the 19th.
I did, yep.
Sorry if y'all can hear my sister in the background. She's recording a Twitch stream right now. But yeah, on the 18th, I actually went to NFTBA, the basketball tournament, hosted by Jasmine, Josh Ong, and Peter Fang, who I'm friends with. And I helped MC it with Swickie, which was a lot of fun, actually. It's always fun. I mean, I like watching people play basketball, especially since everybody, they're all into NFTs and everyone gets really serious about it too, which is fun. And I met a lot of people that I know, that I've known online, and a lot of people were there. And it was just a fun event. And there was even towards the end, a ton of just random spectators coming to see like, what's this tournament happening over here? So yeah, that was very interesting. It was in Chinatown. We played at Columbus Park.
Cool. No, that looks like a lot of fun. I'm actually definitely upset that I missed it. I missed it in LA, and I'm 100% going to go in Miami in December. That looks like a fun event put on by really cool people. So that's cool that you got to MC it.
Yeah, usually my sister MCs it, but she unfortunately wasn't able to fly in until later that day. So I was like, well, I can help out. And then so I did some announcing, and then Swickie was doing like the sideline reporting. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and then you flew in on Father's Day, which is actually when
Father's Day.
We recorded that podcast episode with Mac, and then we haven't recorded since. It's been a whole 10 days. I'm sorry, guys. Please forgive us. We've been traveling a lot. I went to go visit family after New York, and I was just, it was just that farm country life. And I always forget about social media when I'm out there. So, but anyway, Father's Day. What did you do on Father's Day?
Yeah, so I drove my family to an all-inclusive resort in Costa Rica, dropped them off. They were well taken care of. Got on the plane, flew to New York. I didn't land until about 10 at night, and traffic from JFK was horrible. I couldn't believe it. 10 at night on a Sunday. The Uber was like $160 to get from JFK to Times Square. Yeah, unbelievable. The Ubers were really expensive all week. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But so and then Andy and I actually got together that night, and we kind of walked around and just we got a bite to eat and just checked out the scene. We didn't do anything that night. Did you make it to the rektguy party?
I did. I showed up early.
Good for you.
Yeah, I shout out to OSF who we had on the pod as well. He hooked it up, put me on the list. I went with my boyfriend and my sister, and it was a small event, couple hundred people, I think 200 maybe, and it was at this it was at like this like nightclub type thing where you couldn't like record, or it was like no photos, no video, so I didn't get any footage for the vlog there. And it was, I think it was because they had like burlesque type of dancers and stuff, and there was like a little stage and whatever, but it was cool. It was a vibe, you know. It was really dark in there too, like even if you wanted to record, it was like super dark in there. But yeah, it was a vibe. And I saw I mean, actually a lot of people I didn't recognize, but then I saw Andrew Wang and Farouk, and just there was a group of people that came that I knew. But it was fun. It was a vibe. I got there early, and then I kind of left before midnight. Yeah, I was trying not to stay out too late during the first couple of days, you know, trying to preserve my energy. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I got to say hi to OSF, meet him in person. Super dope guy. So yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that looked like it. I heard some good things about that one too, for sure.
Yeah.
So, so I missed those first couple days.
Hey, but then Monday, what'd you do on Monday?
So Monday we got up, went over to the Marriott Marquis, saw that there was a gigantic line. This was Andy and I. We met up with our buddy Jason Ostro, and we went and got some bagels, which is nice for New York. And Andy was actually nice enough to go get the badges for all of us. I think I went back to the hotel. I forget exactly what I did after that. And then that was the night we all went to the Smilesverse party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know that Andy like had the hookup for the badges, because I know he hooked us up. He was like, oh yeah, like I got you guys free tickets, right? He got us free tickets.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that he like actually already claimed our tickets. So I go over to go register, and the line was super long. I actually vlogged it, and it was like this crazy long line. Right. And I was like, oh, there's no way, because I do not like standing in lines. Like I'd rather just skip the whole thing. So I was like, I might not even go to NFT.NYC. But then I ended up going to a lunch with some friends. Went to lunch with some people. And then after that, I went back to the marquee, and there was no line at all. So I just went in and I got my badge. And I was like, oh, well, there we go. And then I actually went to the Jenkins, the valet, before the Smilesverse party.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which it was a pretty small spot, but it was cool. It was like small and intimate. And you know, maybe a couple hundred people there, maybe like 200 people or something. And got to meet rektguy, who we had on the pod, Ape Wood, who's like, you know, just a funny Twitter poster, and also part of Jenkins team. And also, you know, the whole Jenkins team, like they all kind of made a little announcement introducing themselves and all that, which was cool. And that was a fun little event. And then went to Smilesverse party after that, where I saw you and Andy. Yeah. Which was cool. And yeah, that was a vibe. The Smilesverse party, it was really cool. Like when I got there, which was basically, I think I got there at like, I forget, I think like 7 or something. And there was a line. And I just went to the front to see what the situation was. And like, I recognized Jasmine and 2 other people from NFTBA in the line, and they like let me cut with them, which I was like, yes, because they were literally at the front. I was like, oh my God, thank God. So yeah, I got in pretty early, and I feel like they did such a great job. Like they had a pretty big space. There was a downstairs, there was an upstairs. You know, the downstairs, there was a bunch of really cool, like a couple different installations, and then places where it was like they were displaying, you know, Smiles art, and for you to take pictures in front of, and like a bar in the middle. The upstairs was cool. There was a couple basketball hoops. You could shoot some baskets. Yeah. And I thought they did a good job with that. I will say, I feel like they probably should have done a better job marketing it, since it was open to the public, but there really weren't like that many people there. Like, I feel like there could have been so many more people there. But maybe it was the location. I don't know. I thought it was a cool party.
Yeah, it was a little off the beaten path over like 10th Avenue for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Like we got to meet Wahid and Giovanni in person for the first time. And what I really like about that's like, you're right. It wasn't a gigantic, like tight crowd, but it was like people that were really fans of that project. And that project, you know how much of a fan I am of it. So obviously, and it was cool to be there. And VGF showed up. I didn't expect that. And there were a couple people that were like podcast fans. They came up to us. I was wearing the podcast shirt all week. I had 4 of them. So I wore it almost every day. That's the only way people recognize me. If I had like a couple people come up, are you Michael Keene? Like, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't show your face otherwise, ever. Like how would people see you?
Yeah, it's a good point. I've been on some other podcasts that are like video, but you're right. I guess I really don't. I don't put it out there.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to. I just, it's just not.
Yeah, like I see you on here. Like we'll always put our video on. Well, right now I don't have my video on, but we always put our video on and I can see you. But I'm like, oh yeah, thinking from, the perspective of our listeners.
They don't know what I look like.
Yeah.
Right.
And and then and same with me too. Like I used to have my face as my profile picture for the longest time. And then last year when I went to NFT.NYC, people recognized me and stuff. And then this year, people were like recognizing my voice, or they were saying like, it was funny because people didn't say, oh, are you Jenny from the blockchain? They said, oh, are you Jennifer Sudo? And I'm like, what? How do they know my? But I realized the podcast, it says my first and last name. And then my Twitter handle is like Jennifer Sudo.
Yeah.
And so, and then some people like at Cool Cats, which I went to, like you can scan your thing and it says like Jenny from the blockchain. And then it shows your Cool Cat. And some people were like, oh, what? That's you. Like they didn't know because I have my doodle. I've been having my doodle as my Twitter profile picture for a while. And unless you watch my vlogs, I show myself in my vlogs, but it's like, you don't really know what people look like. But yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that for sure. Talking to our community, our fans, people that have been listening to us. Like people, it's so funny that people say like, they've been listening to every episode and they make jokes about things we've said, and they like ask about things we said. What happened to this? What happened to that? It's awesome.
Yeah. I had some really great conversations with some of our podcast listeners at the Web3 party, which I guess we'll get into a little later. That was on Wednesday. And it was just really cool talking to people that listen to the pod and just like, just people that, know you. And it's like, it's awesome talking to people. I love connecting with people and meeting new people and like hearing what they're up to in the space and, all that. It's like, it's always fun. So
100%. So what did you end up doing after Smiles? Did you go to that?
I think I just went to sleep.
You went to sleep after that one,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just went to sleep. I'm like,
for sure.
Yeah.
We ended up walking over to the Nights of Degen. It was Nights of Degen and Vayner Sports and a couple other projects put on this party. It was at Slate, which is the same place that Nights of Degen had their party at last year that I had so much fun at. So it was cool to be back there. Ran into some of the usual suspects. We ran into Benjamin and a few other people, and also Kai Forbath and Deshaun Kaiser I've talked about. And they really want to get on the podcast. Kai really wants Deshaun on, or at least to chat for a little bit about their project. They're doing some cool stuff. I'm always talking to those guys. And Ja Rule performed, which wasn't necessarily my thing, but that was kind of cool to hear that. And do you like Ja Rule?
What's
his music?
Oh, I'm trying to think. What is his? I know Ja Rule, but for some reason,
he's from like when you were like a little baby when he was like putting out music. Yeah,
Ja Rule. What does he have?
He's got that song with Ashanti that's really popular.
Sorry to crack in, but he has a song with Jenny from the Block.
Wait a minute.
What's up, Andy? There's Andy.
Oh, Andy making an appearance.
Normally he just messages us when he's got something like that.
True. Yeah, that's true. He usually
Sorry.
No, celebrity guest appearance from Andy.
Yeah. Andy was relishing in meeting the fans too. Like, Andy was a little mini celebrity up there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and Michael, by the way, Michael's like 6 foot, right?
No, like 5'10",
and Andy's like 6'5" or something.
Yeah, Andy's big. We started taking pictures. I'm like, damn, you're tall, bro.
Like, what the heck? Yeah, we took a picture together and I'm like, damn, I look so short compared to you guys. Like 5'2" over here.
That's funny.
Yeah. I also ended my nights early because of the vlogs. Like, because I was vlogging, I had to then spend time 1 to 2 hours like editing and posting in real time on Twitter. So it was like, I also wanted to end my nights a little early so I can push out the content, which is always a grind. But yeah. If you guys want to see any video footage, go to my Twitter. I think I did like 8 vlogs, not as many as VCon. VCon I did like 20 something, but I did like 8 different vlogs, like 1 a day or something.
Yeah, your editing's getting really good though. It really,
thank you.
Really on point. You could tell that you spend time. Like the basketball one was awesome, but you're doing a really good job of editing them.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone should go back and watch. Yeah, watch and share.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so on Tuesday was like my busiest day. Which let me see my vlog here. Okay, so I started out. I found out that NFL All Day was doing this collab with this coffee shop, and like if you go there and you show your NFL All Day account, you get free coffee. So I did that Tuesday, I did that Wednesday, like I did that. I think I even did it Thursday. Like I went like all the days possible because I'm like, hey, utility for my moments, free coffee. And that was cool. Met the All Day people, they were nice. Then I went to NFT.NYC. I actually checked out the conference, which, by the way, I didn't wear my badge because I kind of wanted to see how far I could get without wearing it. And literally, you could pretty much do everything. Like they weren't checking.
Right, they weren't checking it anywhere. I agree. I actually noticed that as well. I had mine on, but they literally were not looking at anybody. There was nobody to stop you. You just went up the escalator. And you were there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that was like, oh, okay. Well,
and they were charging $1,000 a seat for people, a ticket.
Jeez.
Yeah. I would never in a million years pay for that. Like,
yeah. Thank you, Andy, for the hookup.
Yeah. It's awesome. Media passes are the best.
Yeah, and we were an award nominee. We didn't end up winning, but we were an award nominee. So for like best media, NFT media, which was awesome. Thanks for nominating us, guys.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, and then I picked up my Doodle badge there, which there was like, I waited in like a half-hour line to pick up my Doodle badge so I could go to the party later that day. And then it was funny because I went in line, the people right ahead of me, they're like, hey, you're famous. I was like, I'm not famous, but they were nice people. And then I went to Cooltopia, which thankfully I got there at a decent time. Like I got there, I think around 1 p.m. And I must have really beat the rush because then my sister showed up an hour later and she had to wait in a long, like she was waiting for like an hour. And
damn.
Yeah, and so anyway, I just went right in. There was no line or anything. And it was really cool. I have to say, Cool Cats, like everyone was hating on Cool Cats, these past several months, right? They did such a great job with the event. And, I'm a huge fan of events that, they're kind of not centered around alcohol. Like I loved that it was a daytime event, I think it was like 12 to 8 p.m. And it was just this cool interactive experience. They seemed to take some similar ideas from like the Doodles South by Southwest event that they had, where it was like, okay, you got your badge and you scan it and your like Cool Cat will show up. And then you also accumulate these points. If you start scanning, it's actually your wristband, you start scanning it, you accumulate these points. And then at the end, you can redeem your points for merch. And it was like basically free, right? And then there's like exclusive stuff for holders that you could redeem. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, they just did such a great job. Like I was there for several hours and just hanging out. It was a lot of fun, and it was a huge space too. Did you go to that?
Yeah, Andy and I went on Wednesday morning. It was the first thing we did Wednesday. And I actually really enjoyed it as well. I wasn't sure I was going in, I was like, I just thought it was going to be something you walk around and look at some cool stuff. But then I realized there were all the, you get the bracelet, it connects to your NFT, and you go around and you collect these points. And if you're a holder, you get free merchandise depending on how many points you collect. And they had a couple games to play. One was like a real world, like floor is lava, where you run through this whole setup. Did you do that?
Yeah, I got 22 seconds.
Oh yeah,
not the best, but
I missed like 600 extra points by 1 second. It was either 18 or 19. I forget the exact numbers.
Oh, nice.
I think it was 18, and you needed 17 to get 3,000 points, whatever it was. But I actually cheated a little bit because the first part, I didn't cheat, but the first part where you run and you have to jump on the rocks to avoid the lava, it wasn't real lava. So I just ran as fast as I could right through without worrying about jumping on the. I know. And I don't know. I didn't see anyone else doing that, so I felt a little bit bad. But
I saw a couple of people like totally just fall on their face and eat it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I felt so bad. Like, Andy got 19 seconds.
Andy got 19.
Go.
I think I got the same exact as Andy. I'm pretty sure I got the same as
nice.
Andy. But and then there was another game where it was like this like big screen like video game kind of thing where you were like steering a pirate ship and so however you did in these games or how many points you got. And at the end, I got a free T-shirt and some keychains for the kids and a couple stickers or whatever. Yeah, did you end up getting free merch from it?
I did. I got a holder's pillow. Like the cool cat.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And then I got sweatpants.
Oh, wow.
And then I got my boyfriend also has like a cool pet, and he like got the pillow for me. And then with my points, I got like sweatpants, which by the way are really not good. Like they don't have pockets, and they were like super, super big. And I got like a small. I just tried them on today. I was like, okay, these sweatpants are trash, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And then,
fun.
I was like, no, because I live in sweatpants. So I'm like, I was hoping they'd be good, but it's okay. And then I got like, I don't know, some water bottle thing. And then like, I think I got like a keychain as well, maybe sticker or something like that.
Yeah, at the end, you just got to fill out the last few hundred points or whatever.
Yeah. But it was nice that like you didn't have to pay. It was like, I really feel like they put a lot of money into that. Like, first of all, the whole experience, it was a whole 3-day thing.
Yep.
Plus all the merch that people could get for free. And like, they just really went all out. And I kept seeing advertisements about it, all across the city in New York. So yeah, they did a great job. I think Cool Cats took the cake for New York. I'm going to say.
Cool Cats. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. We ran into a couple friends there, Hood Van Gogh and Joe Bradley. And that was cool to see them. It was family friendly. It was open to the public. We actually showed up like just after it opened. It was like 11 a.m. So we just went right in. There was no line.
Yeah.
It was open to the public, but only the holders would get the free stuff. So like everyone else could get the points and stuff, right?
Well, the points, you can't redeem the points if you weren't like a holder.
If you weren't a holder, right? It wasn't. Yeah, so that was like, so you could buy the merch, but you had to be a holder to redeem the points.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm almost sure about that. I heard that. I guess don't 1,000% quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was, because not everybody could just come in and get free merch.
We may or may not be wrong.
Yeah, we may or may not be wrong. If anybody wants to correct us, feel free. That was definitely well put on, though. Go ahead.
Did you see the worm there? Because I saw the worm there. Oh, the worm was there.
Like the physical worm, like the person in the worm costume.
No, these people, they always wear the same things. There's this guy, this girl, and I've met them before. I met them in I think New York last year.
This sounds familiar.
And there used to be this thing going around where it was like the worm you send it to different wallets, and then
I remember
it leaves a hologram, it leaves a and then anyway, so they had this booklet of notable people that have had the worm, and it was like they had put my Twitter in it. They're like, oh my God, I think that you're in our list. I was like, what? But I saw them there and I was like, oh my God, do you guys remember me? I met you last year. And then, they have this big like worm. It's like a plushy thing and they just carry it around and people take pictures
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
right. It was not a costume. I remember seeing that big worm plushie. Is that thing still locked up? It got sent to a dead wild or something, right?
So somebody put a bid on it and then they bought it. And then I think they ended up returning it like back to the people, back to the worm people to keep passing it around. Like I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
So but yeah, so then what are we on? Monday. So yeah, after the Cool Cats, I checked out the psychedelic house, the psych house for a little bit. I didn't see Voltura there. I wanted to say hi, but I didn't see him. But I just stopped by for a bit. It was cool. It was a vibe, it was just, it was chill. It was like, you could just kind of hang out. They had some cool installations and stuff. Apparently there was another section somebody told me about that I guess I forgot to go into. So I guess I didn't experience it to its fullest, but that's okay. And then, then I went to ApeFest, which was fun. It was sprinkling, but they gave us like these ponchos, which was nice. And who was it? Lil Baby that performed?
Yeah, you were there on Tuesday. So was Andy and I didn't realize you were there. We didn't see each other.
Well, there was a lot of people there. Like there was a solid amount. Yeah, it was pretty popping. Yeah, right. Yeah, recognized a lot of people. It was fun. A lot of my friends went to that, and just hung out there until I don't know. Must have been there till 8-ish or something. Then, or maybe 9-ish or something. And then I really wanted to go to the Doodles holder party. So then broke away, went to the Doodles party, and I got there perfectly in time for them to when they started announcing things. And there was no line, by the way. I heard for the people that first got there, which, by the way, I think the move is to show up late. Because if you show up early
they get the right
or on time,
line around the block.
You have to wait in a super long line. But if you show up late to something, there's literally no line. Like every time I show up late to something, no line. So that's the alpha. Show up late. As long as it's not one of those like, if it fills up, that's it. But yeah, I got there just in time for them to announce like Doodles 2, Pharrell Williams as the chief experience officer, their partnership with Columbia Records, just announcing all these like major things. And so that was really cool. And then they did a little Q&A with the founders, which was awesome. And then they had announced, Chainsmokers is going to perform in an hour. But then I left shortly after that. A lot of my Evaluate.Market team members or coworkers were there as well at the Doodles party. So it was cool to see them. But yeah, like I said, I left kind of early to that because Newbie, who we had on pretty early on the podcast, she works for Eternal, and they threw a party. They collabed on a party with Ballers NFT, and that was, and so I just went there. It was 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So I think I got there at midnight or something, and Sean Kingston performed, and it was just a lot of fun. A lot of my friends went to that, and then I met a lot of cool people, especially that were into NBA Top Shot early on. Dodie, I met Phil D, I met El Dumbo, or did I meet El Dumbo? Wait, yeah, I did. Wait, who was that? Was that El Dumbo? Yeah, I met a lot of NBA Top Shot people and stuff. So it was cool, a vibe. But yeah, that was a super late night for me, and I did a lot of things that day. It was kind of chaotic. That
was Tuesday. Yeah, that was your big day. My big day ended up being Wednesday. At ApeFest, we actually hung out for a long time with these guys. They put on an in real life event in Philly called NFT Philly. And there's 3 or 4 of those guys. They were a lot of fun to hang out with.
Oh, nice.
So, we're Philly guys, Andy and I, so it worked out well. I was, Haim performed. I don't know if you saw them.
Oh yeah. Beforehand, I didn't see them, but, or maybe I did. I don't know. I don't actually know who Haim is.
But I these 3 ladies. Yeah, for sure. I know all the music because of the only reason I know being a ticket broker.
Oh yeah.
You know,
sure,
like I know,
sure.
I know like every band and every venue, all that. So yeah, the Haim performed, Lil Baby performed. I was hoping it wasn't my favorite lineup of all time. I was
I'm
hoping
not
for
a
a
huge Little
comedian.
Baby fan, but
Yeah, I'm not a
I
huge
like
Lil
that
Baby fan
Timbaland
either.
came out. Timbaland came
Yeah,
out. I wish he would have performed. He has some really, really good songs, but all he did was like show his. He like, I mean, it was cool because he premiered his new music video that had like his apes in it,
yeah,
which I thought was really cool. It was like 3D rendered and whatever. It was cool. Like it was awesome to see the music video, but I'm like, damn, I wish he would have performed.
yeah, for
That would
sure.
have been
Yeah,
awesome.
he's produced some great songs over the years for Jay-Z and for all kinds of people.
Yeah.
Missy Elliott, obviously. Yeah, no, that was so that it was a fun event though. I mean, they had that it was actually a long line to even look at the merch. I don't did you try and go in that merch line?
I actually did there. I didn't know where the merch was. I wasn't gonna get merch anyway, but there was this one section. I'm like, what's in that room? But I never went to check, and I'm pretty sure that was like the merch area.
Yeah, probably. It was like on the floor right below the roof deck.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. And yeah, so that was it was a fun event. I mean, a big time, you know, it's 3,000, 4,000 people, whatever it is. It's a big venue. And on the way out, they gave everybody did you get one of the posters?
I did poster
Yeah,
and a tote bag. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the poster's cool. It's numbered, it's dated and numbered. So
Oh,
I'll
really?
probably try and get that framed. Yeah, for sure. Dated
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah. So if you open it up, you can see like it's got a serial number.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep.
I gave mine to my boyfriend. I was like, I don't care about this poster.
The poster is non-fungible. It's a
True.
non-fungible poster.
Non-fungible, yes. Yeah,
It's that's an
I hung up
NFP.
non-fungible poster
Yes, it's an
NFT.
NFP, man.
Oh, is that the new thing? I
That's
hung
the
up
new thing.
my Smiles NFT on my
Oh, did you?
door.
Cool. Yeah, I have my Smiles and my Bored Ape rolled up together. I'm gonna think about framing both of those and something, you know, possibly.
Nice.
They're both cool, good memories.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister's like, you should frame your stuff. I'm like, no, if I don't put it up now, I'm never gonna put it up.
Yeah.
So I just
What do you
like
just like
tape it.
thumbtack?
I just
tape
no,
it?
I
Yeah.
just do tape on the back and I just tape it on the door.
Okay. Yeah. Another thing to do, I used to get those laminated. I would take them to like Office Depot or something,
Oh,
and they'll
wow.
laminate them for you.
That is a commitment. Going all the way
Yeah.
to Office Depot, getting it laminated, coming back. Too many steps. Too many
Yeah.
steps.
You could send it in an Uber delivery to Office Depot.
Okay, now that just sounds expensive.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it. I don't know. You sounded like you were getting lazy about it, so I don't know.
Exactly. Tape, it costs like
Yeah.
2 cents.
All
So
right.
tape it up. There we go.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. See, I have both of those posters sitting. I have a whole bunch of posters. I have a really nice My Homies poster autographed by Cheech and Chong and Jermaine Rogers. I got to get framed too.
Hey, nice. What else did you do Tuesday? Anything else that we didn't?
No, that was the end of Tuesday. We did ApeFest, and I think we just hopped an Uber back after that.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was nice. I
Everything.
slept in every morning. I slept into like 10:30, which is
Let's go.
which is late for me. I'm up at 7 a.m. every morning.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was like really nice. And Thursday, I think I slept until honestly like 11:30 or 12. I didn't like sleep the whole time, but I didn't get out of bed for the first time. That was really nice. So I did that. And so Wednesday was the big day. Wednesday, I got up at whatever it was, 10:30, met Andy a little bit after 11 at Cooltopia. We did Cooltopia, like I said. And then from there, we walked a little bit. Did you actually, right outside of Cooltopia when we was there, was the Goblins burger truck? Did you come across that at all?
Oh, I did not see that. No.
Yeah, they were right outside of Cooltopia. And there were like a couple people like in character, like goblin character, and they were giving out free burgers. It was like a food truck, but it was done all up like the goblins. It was a big food truck, like a real food truck. And they must have wrapped it for the weekend or whatever, painted it up.
Nice.
And they were giving out free burgers out of there. And it was pretty cool. Good little scene. There was like a bunch of people. There were people walking down the street like, what is going on? You could see them looking over like,
I can imagine.
what the heck is this? And then I saw that truck on Thursday, like zooming down a side street, like way down in like Little Italy or Chinatown or something. It just zoomed by. I was like, damn, couldn't tell where it was going. It was like bouncing around the little streets in New York. But
Nice.
they made some waves. I didn't go to any of their parties, but they had I guess a late night party you probably heard about.
Yeah. Well, you kind of went to their party because you came to our Web3 party, and Upstream was one of the sponsors, and one of the founders of Upstream is also on the Goblins team. So it was like
you combined with the Goblins.
Yeah,
you collabed with the Goblins. Yeah. So so we did the Cooltopia. Goblin food truck was right outside of there. Got a burger, and then I actually took an Uber over to Brooklyn for my buddy LOGIK Gilliam, who I've talked about a couple times. You might remember the plugs. He worked for Google. Really, really good, smart dude. I've been listening to him on Clubhouse since the very, very beginning. So much respect for that guy. So he had his own, like, it was like an installation where you walked in. There was actually a bunch of Sabet art there. And then he had panels of his own. And I got to see a panel that he hosted with Terrell Jones, Andre O'Shea, 2 artists, and another guy. I forget exactly who it was. But a good talk. It was actually super cool to see LOGIK speak in person because I've heard him talk so many times. So it was like nice to sit there. And I hung out there for a little bit. And then I went outside, and I was actually about to go to the Psychedelic Anonymous house, which is the thing that I regret missing the most. I think I would have liked to have checked that out and, been part of that. But I went out and I was talking to actually two of our podcast fans recognized me from my shirt. We were chatting it up, and they told me that they just came from a Mumbot event that was in walking distance over by one of the piers. Yeah, right under the Brooklyn Bridge where that carousel is. So I walked over there. I couldn't find them. And then I got some lunch. There was like one of those markets that had like a million places to eat. I got some lunch. And then when I was walking outside of there, I ran into my friend, this artist, Mariana Martins, and she said she was hopping into an Uber to go to another Ghost Club event, Mumbot event at this guy Jason Naylor at his studio in Brooklyn. So she said she had room in her Uber. I hopped in, went there with them, and this dude's actually a pretty accomplished artist. He's done a lot of different collabs, like his studio is filled with a lot of the things he's done. Really cool artist. It's Jason Naylor, Naylor. If anybody wants to check him out. But we went there, and it was awesome of Mariana to invite me. And when we got up there, it was a who's who of all these artists from the Ghost Club, people that I've known for a long time. And I was like one of the 1 or 2 people in there that was not an artist. It was Mariana, Mob Salit, Brian Morris, who I've talked about a bunch of times, one of my absolute favorites. This guy Klim, who's a genius. He does all kinds of toys and works with all kinds of big companies and people. Gregatron, Fidget, who I know Andy's a big fan of, and I met him a couple times. Fidget's awesome. Sean Keaton, Killer Napkins, who, if anyone doesn't know Killer Napkins, check his stuff out. Incredible. Nate Bear, Mumbot was there. F. Wooden Cyclops, who I talked about a few episodes ago. Vincent Ghost, Kyle Confirm, my buddy Concept, who I'm a huge fan of, like in this little studio, and everyone's like drawing on paper and stickers, and like it was really impressive to be in a like such an artistic, and I was like the only one, and it was really cool. I got really lucky to get invited to that and go to that. I love those little events. It was impromptu. I had no idea. And that was one of my favorite things I did the whole week. It was one of my favorite. And awesome. So that was really neat. Yeah, that was really, really neat. Killer Napkins is incredible. Family, like he literally is
such a funny
Killer Napkins. I know.
Killer Napkins.
it's like that group. They come from like a kind of like a psychedelic, like fun kind of art. It's kind of it's like it's not like clay. I don't know. It's a really cool, interesting type of art. That whole crew is really cool though, and I got lucky to be able to go to that. It was like in this little studio, like up a few floors in this warehouse in Brooklyn, and art all over the walls, and that was really neat. So I was there until about 4:30, and that's when I hopped another Uber over to your party.
Hey.
Yeah. And that was honestly, the venue you guys had, the Freehold in Union Square Park, the indoor outdoor like seamless space. That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. A lot of great people there. What you want to talk about it? What you thought about it, and how it went down for you?
Yeah, so it was like 5 to 9, and it went well, but in the beginning it was like low-key pretty stressful because we kind of got there later than we were supposed to. We got there probably like 4:20 or something, and we had to put together all these VIP bags, which were loaded, by the way. Our VIP bags, we had like 100 of them. They were absolutely loaded. All 5 of the companies / people we collabed with on this event, like just really put in a lot of effort into what they wanted to provide to everybody. So it was like, whoever got the bags, like they were stacked. There was a lot of stuff in there. But yeah, so that was like such a process. We had like everybody helping out, like put them together and everything. And then we put them all outside. And then it started like sprinkling / raining. And we're like, oh, great. So now we got to move them all back inside. And but then things ended up flowing smoothly. But in the beginning, it was like, oh my God, it was like high stress. And I was like, it was like a new level of stress of being like an event organizer that I hadn't experienced before because I've never thrown an event. And like in the beginning, a couple people came up to me, they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And I was just like all majorly stressed out. And then I just like didn't want to drink or anything. I wanted to be like, alert and all that. Yeah, it was just like a totally different like level of stress. And just different than, because before like public speaking, having to speak on stages, like that's like the most stressful thing for me. And then, but this event, I was like, oh my God, this is wild. But it started flowing smoothly. People started coming in, filling in. In the beginning, since it was sprinkling, everyone piled inside and it was like packed in there. Like people were like packed like sardines, which was like kind of cool, but it was also like kind of bad because it was like, oh my God, it was like too packed. But then thankfully it stopped raining and then everyone kind of like went outside and it was like a nice flow of like, okay, solid amount of people outside, solid amount of people inside. I feel like throughout the night, we probably had like 800 people come at some point. I mean, I guess we don't really know for sure how many people showed up, but yeah, I think it went well and it was a lot of fun. And, I met a lot of awesome people. A lot of my team was there. So 2 of the co-founders, Cody and Christian from Evaluate.Market, they were there and they were like, wow, this is awesome. You did a great job with this. So that was fun. And hopefully I can throw more events for Evaluate in the future. And then I met some podcast listeners. Let me see. I wanted to shout out. Sorry. A couple of my coworkers, Ray, Moxie, and Lucas, they were there. And then I met Dave and his wife who listened to the podcast, had an awesome convo with them. I met Ultra, who is like an OG fan of the pod. She was super sweet. Like, I loved her. She was awesome. And then I met Antonio and Tamara, his girlfriend Tamara, who like
they were really cool. They were really cool.
They're really cool. Yep. And Antonio helps me like I call him my executive assistant. He like helps me with all the projects I'm into. Like, oh, here's updates on them and stuff. And he's awesome. And then I just met a bunch of people there. We had a DJ. We had a photo booth. There was Justin Perry was there interviewing people. Apparently this guy from Love is Blind, which is like a reality show, was there So like, and my cousin came and he's really into like TV and stuff. And he was like, oh my God, the Love is Blind guy's here. And he was like fanboying over. He's like so excited.
Love is Blind.
I was like, oh, sweet. Somebody famous is here. Let's go. So that was kind of cool. And then what else did we have? Yeah, I mean, there was
ItsJustLos. Don't forget about ItsJustLos.
ItsJustLos showed up, who wrote the intro to our podcast, or produced the intro song to our podcast, and he recently came out with a new NFT song. So we're gonna premiere it here.
No. I ordered the coffee with sugar, not equal. Equal is not sugar. It's just low. No, take it back. This is disgusting, bro. Come on. I got a DM from a mod in the Discord. An offer so good it was hard to ignore. So I hit the link quick cause I had to learn more. Those apes looked bored, a price I could afford. I had a bad feeling but I shook off the jitters when I saw they had about 100K on Twitter. They joined last month, that's not sus. Anonymous, not docs, gotta have trust. Cause their website is tight and I'm enamored by the glamour. So for now I could excuse all their really poor grammar. Connected the wallet, it didn't work. I tried it again, better DM support. Then link after link, yo, we finally got it working. This time next year, I'ma be rich for certain. Except the next morning when I woke, bruh, I looked in my wallet, I was broke. It's a rug. Duped again. It's a rug. I got bands, you're so stupid. What's a rug? It's a rug. What's a rug? It's a rug. They're carbon copies of some other posts, like history's repeated. Yeah, it's a rug. When the Discord closes and the Twitter gets deleted. Yeah, it's a rug. 10 times a day, whitelist giveaway. No utility, roadmaps on the way. When you ask good questions, they get kicked the same day. It's fun. Third time in the month, AMA's postponed. Try to speak on this space, but they ain't past the microphone. Know your friends on the feed saying, leave that thing alone, man. Sorry, guys. You bought a boatload of coins for the pump, but the devs dumped. Yeah, it's a rug. The only thing that 3x was the price at the gas pump. It's a rug. Supermodels in bikinis on the feed talking Web3. Nah, that's a dub. What floors am I sweeping? I just got a whole lot of ETH. It's a rug. And yo, the Discord's hacked again. Devs don't know what's happening. Project leaders faking like they're ladies, but they're really men. Retweet quote like an ETH if this hits a ban. It's a rug. Adam should've known when Eve was giving him forbidden fruit. It's a rug. Somebody telling you they'll give you a discount tattoo. Nah, it's a rug. You asked for a Ben, but you got a Casey Affleck. It's a rug. You leave early trying to avoid the New York City traffic. Stop the drugs. Yeah. Cause everything I say is true. If you look up to the sky and see Aladdin and his boo with a boo and the genie that's blue when they riding to the moon on upholstery from your room. It's a carpet. Oh no.
Okay, there we go. That was his song. And also, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so this was also like, we were proud of this being like a woman organized event. We weren't like advertising it as that. Like, I'm a fan of not like, you know, putting in people's faces that it's like, oh, this was women organized, but it was. And it was like, you know, me from Evaluate, my sister from Cryptoys, Monica from Upstream, who I have to say, Monica and Steph were the real MVPs for this event. And then Swickie, who was kind of just representing her ape Kiki, and then Sarah representing Juicebox Friends, who we've had all of them on the pod except for Monica. Got to get Monica on sometime. She's really awesome. She's great at throwing events. So, but yeah, originally Steph and Monica had collabed on an event together before, so Cryptoys and Upstream, and Steph was like, oh, why don't we try to collab with some of our friends, you know, and do another event and collab with some more friends on this. And so that's how that came about. And it was awesome being able to collab on an event together and just, you know, do that. And then my sister we did a raffle and my sister was like standing on a chair with the mic, like, who wants to win a crypto skateboard? And she always does a great job, like just on the mic and, you know, commanding the stage and all that. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was great. It was a great event. I thought overall it went well. And, hopefully I could throw another event in the future.
Yeah, it was great. You guys did crush the VIP swag thing, the Cryptoys lunch boxes. Cool. I put everything in there. Swickie had perfume.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was perfume. I think it was perfume or cologne, but it must have been perfume. I put it on myself. I don't know.
Nice. It's unisex. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, it didn't smell too girly.
Yeah.
But I actually ended up giving it to my wife, and she likes it. And there was all, it was like Juicebox. There was like a ring pop, and there was all kinds of cool stuff in there. That was a good setup.
Yeah, let me see. There's a picture that Swickie had just posted. So yeah, Swickie did like a perfume, tattoo, some stickers. We all collabed on a cute tote, Web3 party tote. Upstream did like a Just DAO It shirt. They're known for DAOs. Cryptoys did this really cool lunchbox, and then inside came like this badge and a bunch of stickers. Evaluate.Market, we did like a cup, mints, hand sanitizer, a pen, and then Juicebox friends did like candy and like a reusable straw and cool glasses and stickers. So it was just like fully loaded with a bunch of stuff.
That was really cool. I forgot about the Just DAO It shirt.
Yeah.
That was a really fun party. That was I honestly thought the venue was perfect. A shame a little bit of rain, but you can't control that.
Yeah, totally.
So congrats on doing that. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun throwing that event.
Yeah. And then after that, I actually went to dinner with two friends from Penn State that I've been friends with forever, Jay and Ethan. I've been friends with those guys for 25 years at this point. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, not quite 24 years. Yeah, pretty much. And so we had a nice dinner. We went to, I forget what it was called, but it was like Anthony Bourdain's favorite burger in New York City. And it was like this fancy, it was like a $45 burger.
Jeez, $45?
Yeah, exactly. It ended up being like 100 each. We got burgers and a couple appetizers.
Oh my gosh. That's fancy. That is bougie right there.
That's for sure.
Living it up. $45 burgers.
Yeah. But it was really nice. It was really nice to get together with those guys. They both live in New York.
Nice.
After that, you actually met Jay real briefly, if you remember, outside of that loft party that got shut down. Because after dinner, I walked with him. Him and I walked all the way to there.
Yeah.
So that's who I was with. I was with my my IRL friend.
Oh, nice. Yeah. He was awesome. We after the Web3 party, which by the way, I had to say really quick, the venue, I have to thank Chris Adamo for hooking it up with that venue. He really hooked it up with that place. So that was awesome. But yeah, we tried to go to this, there was like a loft party, private loft party, and Cryptoys was one of the sponsors for it. And so we went there, and literally it had gotten shut down like right as we got there. And I don't know why it got shut down, but it did. So everyone was just like hanging out outside for like a solid hour. And I don't know, we were just like chatting with people that were there. And then
people had like bottles of Grey Goose out there. Did you see that?
No. So this 11, like they were sponsoring the alcohol, and so they just like brought these bottles of vodka out that I guess they didn't use at the party since it got shut down. They were just giving out bottles of vodka to people. I'm like, what is happening?
So funny.
Yeah. I was exhausted after that though. I was like, oh my God.
I was too. I was getting late. It was like like midnight at that point.
Yeah. And I'm like, thank God this got shut down because I'm ready to go to sleep. I went to bed after that.
That was on like 23rd Street. I ended up walking all the way back to my hotel at 39th. And I mean, not all that far, only a mile or two, whatever. But but on the way, this was like 1 a.m. at that point. And I was like a block from my hotel, and I run into to my buddy Drew from the Eternal Royals. You actually bought an Eternal Royal a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
yeah,
I don't know
I
if you
did.
remember that. Was you asked for like projects that are still building? I've actually mentioned him before because they're at every conference giving out posters, giving out stuff, and throwing parties. So I run into him, and he's like, they had this some like spot set up, and there ended up being like 25 people there. A couple people I knew from Clubhouse, and I went there. I was there till like 2:30 that night. That was my long
Wow.
day. Yeah, I know. That's not my style normally, but went out and hung out. I was like, I'm going back to the hotel. He's like, come with me. We got some friends hanging out. I was like, all right. Walked over there. That was like an event space that was rented out by like the DBs and Nifty Castle and his project, Eternal Royals. And I guess they had it till 3 a.m. Like they were doing stuff during the day, but they had the venue all night. So they were just hanging out there.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
Yeah. So my day Wednesday started. I left the hotel at like 10:30 to go to Cooltopia and didn't get back at 10:30 a.m. and didn't get back until like 2:30 in the morning.
Jeez, no break. I like to go home and change.
I usually do too. Yeah, no, I usually do too. I went that whole day and night. Wednesday was wild.
Jeez.
Yeah. But it was fun.
What did you do Thursday?
Thursday, I actually slept. I didn't get out of bed literally until almost noon.
Nice.
And I went and had brunch with that guy, Jason Ostro, who I mentioned earlier. We walked up to Central Park, had like a fancy brunch. And then from there, I hopped, I guess it was already like 3 or 4 o'clock at that point by the time that all went down. And then I hopped on the subway because I was going all the way downtown to Canal Street for the My Homies Cheech and Chong party. And that was also a really lot of fun. That didn't start till I think like 6 at night. But they had 7 courses of infused food, and it was like a pizza place. So it was like infused pizza and garlic rolls and salad with and they would tell you how much THC was in everything. You could get soda, like Coca-Cola infused with 20 milligrams of THC.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
I don't even know what I just went for it. They were passing out joints. Joe Bradley was, I probably shouldn't say, but they were like, somebody was passing out joints, like just like pre-rolls and like everywhere. And then Cheech and Chong like got on Zoom and chatted up with everybody on like a big screen. And that was a lot of fun. I hung out with Justin from Travel Toucans, who's a buddy I've made. And our buddy Aid Our Troops Ed and his brother. We hung out. We were in line together and hung out all night. Yeah, the guy who dressed up like our podcast.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, they were super nice. Those guys actually drove me back to the hotel at the end of the night.
Oh,
yeah. So it's cool. We made friends and they drove me back, and really cool, really good guys. His brother's like kind of just getting into NFTs, so it was kind of funny. But he was a huge Cheech and Chong fan. They were both like huge Cheech and Chong fans, which is how they got into that whole thing.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, on Thursday I actually left, but in the morning I guess in the afternoon I tried to go to the Doodles activation, but they were only I went there and there was a huge line, and I talked to the people at the front and they said they were waiting for 2 hours. I was like, 2 hours? That's insane. But it's because
Disneyland,
yeah. But and apparently there was only 75 people capacity. And it was on, so this was the 23rd, where I guess you could buy the Genesis box. I believe it was like $125 or something. And so that's why everyone was going to it, because they were saying, oh, you can buy it in person, or I don't even know. And I was like, it's not worth it. And I had to go to the airport. So I was like, I couldn't wait in line anyway. But and then right around the corner was the Coinbase. There was like this Coinbase NFT gallery.
Okay.
Which was kind of a vibe. But yeah, then I just went. I flew to Wisconsin and visited family for like a week. And so just got back last night, finally back home.
Cool.
And I was like on that early, that kid grinds, waking up super early. Like my niece and nephews were waking me up at like 7 a.m. And I'm used to waking up at like 9:45. So I'm like, when I got home this morning, I woke up at 7:30. I was like, oh my God, I'm waking up early. This is like the earliest I've ever naturally woken up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was on that kid time schedule, going to sleep at like 10, waking up at 7.
Yeah. Well, 7:45 in Wisconsin. I mean, in Oregon is 9:45 in Wisconsin too.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
part
true.
of it.
Yeah, that's true. I was adjusting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Costa Rica is 2 hours behind. Our kids they're up until like 9:30 at night now.
Nice.
Because of that. Yeah, exactly.
And then I was gonna say on Friday, because today's Wednesday. I think we're posting this today. Friday's my birthday. So
no.
Yeah, Friday's my birthday. I'm turning 27. And I think I'm gonna go up to Washington for my birthday. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for 4th of July, but yeah, it'll be fun. I'll be, next time you guys hear me, I'm gonna be a changed woman. 27 years old. Let's go.
Way more mature.
I'll be more mature. Yes,
love it.
Very exciting stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, what a crazy week. There's so much packed in there. It's actually it's a bit overwhelming.
It is.
With all the things, all the things that are going on.
Yeah, but you know what? There's not another, like, I don't even know of another conference happening anytime, or any type of, big NFT event happening anytime soon. So it's like,
no, yeah,
it's kind of going to be calm for a bit, I think.
Yep. There was going to be the Miami Metaverse, but they've moved it to Art Basel Week in December. Yeah.
I'll probably be down there for Art Basel.
Yeah.
Because there'll probably be NFT stuff going on, I'm sure. Just like
that'd be crazy.
Last year.
Yeah, just like there will be. Well, there'll definitely be the Metaverse Week at the Hard Rock, which will be cool. I met one of the co-founders, Kenobi. If you know him. I
don't think I do.
No, yeah. He's one of the co-founders of that. I met him last week.
You're always good with names. Like, you always know everybody. This person. You know first and last names too. I'm just like, how do you know everyone's name? Oh
man, I'm actually. Faces, that's funny you say. I'm actually terrible with names. Like,
no, dude, you're not. No,
I'm not. Okay.
People come on, back me up, people. I feel like on the podcast, like, you are always like mentioning people's names. Like, you always know people's like real names. So, kudos for that.
Nice.
But yeah, and then so Thursday, how long did you stay in New York until?
My flight was 6 a.m. Friday morning.
Okay. Got it. Did you sleep or did you just?
I did. I went to bed at like 11 or 12 and I had my alarm set for like 3:30 a.m.
Oh,
I know.
That's brutal.
Yeah. And I slept on the plane, a layover in Miami, and then went down to Costa Rica again. Then we had a 4-hour drive or 3.5 hour drive once we got to Costa Rica.
Oh, to get to where? To get to your location?
We went to the town of La Fortuna, which is like, it's in the middle of the jungle, like the rainforest.
Wow.
It's there's this giant volcano called Arenal that hovers over the city. It's super cool. Like, yeah, it's super cool. And there's like monkeys and sloths. It's real. Hot springs everywhere. The place we stayed at had their own hot springs with a water slide into it. Because like they're all natural hot springs because of the volcano.
I feel like one day you're gonna have your own like travel podcast. You're just gonna like, or maybe it'll be like a vlog or something. I don't know, but like, because you travel so many places, like the amount of places you've been since we started this podcast, like you really should have like some travel pod or something.
Nice.
Michael's Adventures.
On July 4th, I'm flying to Lisbon.
Lisbon? Where's Lisbon?
Portugal.
I'm
going to Portugal.
What are you
Amsterdam,
Why? What are you doing over there?
Just traveling around and enjoying myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going up to Massachusetts for a family reunion on Corey's side. And then she's going to take the kids to her parents. And they live in like Ithaca, New York and northern Pennsylvania. And like, they're just going to hang out. And I'm going to go while they're doing that over to Europe for about 10 days till I come back and we have a wedding to go to.
Dang, you are just on the go.
Going to Lisbon, Amsterdam, somewhere else, probably Brussels or London, and then Paris to fly home.
My God, are we gonna be able to record podcasts up? Is it just gonna have to be me and Andy? Like,
well, no, I'm actually gonna be. I'm not gonna have. I can do anything I want when I'm there. I'll be by myself, so it will be late at night. If it's 10 p.m. Eastern, it's gonna be like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
Oh boy! All right, we're gonna have to figure out recording times.
Yeah, but I can record any day though from there because I'll be. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my stuff and be ready to go.
Wow. Well, that will be fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying committed to this podcast despite being everywhere.
No doubt about it.
I go to Wisconsin for a week. I'm like, sorry, I can't record. And you're like in Portugal, like, yes, I will make it happen at 2 a.m.
I'll be there. Yeah. Love it. Yep.
Cool. Well, anything else we have to talk about on this New York recap episode?
No, I think we got almost everything from New York that at least I wanted to talk about. Did you read up on the Doodles bucket auction that they have going on tomorrow? Right now, actually.
Yeah, I briefly saw it. I just know that I need to do it. And I have like 24 hours or something. Yeah. So I got to look into that.
It's interesting, if not complicated. I had to read it a few times. Like, so you basically, Pranksy bid 40 ETH.
Yeah, Pranksy 40 ETH, and then whatever the average or whatever it ends up being for the mint.
Right. So how is the final price determined? I have it up on my screen.
Yeah.
And it's really confusing. I had to read it a few times and really try to understand it. I mean, somebody could probably explain it a little simpler, but when the bucket auction ends, they will have a bunch of addresses and their bids. So you can bid whatever you want. And if you bid 40 ETH, you're going to end up with a lot of them. You know, Pranksy bid 40 ETH, Jimmy 20 ETH. I'm looking at now a bunch of people. Jake and Bake did 11. The auction is ending in 21 hours. So when the bucket auction ends, we're going to have a bunch of addresses and bids. The auction algorithm will determine a final price such that 20,000 tokens, total supply of 24,000, less the 4,000 they're reserving for a live minting experience that holders are going to be able to mint at their live events, are sold for the highest price given the distribution of bids. The price algorithm uses bisect search, a pseudo-binary search, which roughly works like a guess the number game. The system starts from the halfway point and figures out if the guess is too low or too high and keeps dividing in half until the number is right. Put it another way, they're picking a starting price. So maybe they're going to say 0.3 or 0.5, and they're going to calculate how many tokens they've sold at that price with all the bids. If the tokens sold is over 20,000, then they'll raise the price. If it's under 20,000, they'll lower the price, and they'll do this over and over again until they get exactly 20,000 sold, and that will determine the price, and that will determine how many each person gets from what you bid. So theoretically, if you end up bidding whatever that final price is, just that final price, you'll get one. You know what I mean?
What if you end up bidding less than the final price? Do you not get
a refund? You don't get anything. You get a refund.
Shoot. So you got to kind of put in like more. Like you got to. Oh, geez. I wonder how much I should bid.
I don't know the current price, and I think so. There's 917 bids right now, and it averages out to 0.035, which I'm sure that's going to change by a lot by tomorrow. Like people wait till the end, you know, try and see what to bid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I kind of forget what the buckets are for. Do you know, or
really? So yeah, I've read about it. I'm not an expert, but it's I'm here on the frequently asked questions too. Like they're going to be buckets of attributes that you can add to your Doodles too to customize it. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that they were saying like, you know, okay, first of all, the original collection is like 10,000, right? So they're planning for Doodles 2 for there to be like, I think they said like millions. Like they want everybody to be able to have.
Right. It's a mass market identity focused NFT that lets collectors express themselves with wearables and.
Yeah. And I think that it's going to be on Flow because they were saying that they're going to be experimenting with a different blockchain and like Poopy Cat, one of the founders, he has roots in CryptoKitties, which is on Flow. So it's like, or actually CryptoKitties is not on Flow. I'm sorry. But nonetheless, Dapper Labs created Flow, the blockchain, and they were saying, oh, it's going to have no fees, which Flow has no fees. So that's why I'm thinking that could be this will be on Flow.
Yeah,
but we don't know
that
for sure.
too. Yeah, they say that it's going to be minted as an ERC 721, but it may be bridged onto a new blockchain prior to them being utilized and prior to Doodles 2.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. We're actively testing multiple blockchains for mass market accessibility, is what they say. Yeah. Yeah, I checked that out. That was pretty neat. That's a new kind of auction. I'm really interested to see how that plays out. And then there's a Pixel Vault. Punk's Comic 3 is dropping this week.
Yep.
And those are minting for 0.2. And you actually have like an 18% chance to get one of the real high value assets, a Founders DAO or a core identity and those kind of things. And I think that's all of Beanie's stuff that they acquired from him.
It is. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. My boyfriend's really into the Pixel Vault stuff. He has like 50 or so or something.
What's he have? 50 what?
He just has like a million different meta heroes. He has a bunch of comics.
That's what's up.
Because he said he can mint 50 of the comic 3s. I was like, dang, 50, that's insane.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, that's his like biggest thing that he's into.
Cool. No, I like Pixel Vault a lot. I didn't realize that. It was actually funny talking to him. I don't know if you heard this conversation. When you said that he was like into CryptoKitties old school, and then I told him, I thought you actually, I just assumed that you got him into NFTs. I really did. That's what I thought.
He's like pretty OG. Like
yeah.
He's been into NFTs for like 5 years or something.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I did not get him into NFTs.
That's what I thought. I thought that you got.
But we met through NFTs.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe I'll have him on the pod one day, and then nobody will know that he's my boyfriend. I'll just like pretend like he's just a regular,
just a collector.
Oh, just another guest.
Hello, sir. Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. He'll love when we have VGF on finally.
Yeah, he was like, "Can we get VGF drunk and have him share some alpha?" At the Smilesverse party.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Well, we'll have to wrap this episode up. I guess we'll see them. We'll talk to you guys in the next episode, whatever that is. Probably an interview up next. Yep. We were supposed to do an interview today, but it kind of fell through. So yeah, but we'll have some good guests on coming up soon, and it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you all for listening to our New York recap, and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFT Catcher podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about the exciting world of NFTs. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really love what you're hearing, please leave us a rating and review on your favorite platform. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news and insights from the NFT space, be sure to follow us on all the socials at NFTCatcherPod. You can follow Jennifer at Jennifer_pseudo and Michael at NFTicket. I'm your producer, Andy, and I'm at AJC254. Our theme song's by ItsJustLos. We always appreciate your feedback and support, which helps us reach more people and bring you informative and engaging content about NFTs. We look forward to bringing you more great NFT content in future episodes. Thanks for listening. Peace.